For players that prioritize speed and agility, especially if you are a front court player, then this video is for you. Today, we'll be reviewing our top 3 Head Light Rackets of 2025. Now, the first racket that we want to talk about today is a relatively new racket. It's the Yonex Nanoflare 700 Pro, which is the second generation of the 700 lineup. Joel, what are your thoughts about that racket?
The thing that I find a bit unique about it is its playability, because it's a little bit more flexible, so it's a bit more forgiving. But yet the swing speed will mean that the counter attack, the counter drives are still quite effective.
I think for me, it's my favorite whippy racket. I love the 700 because I'm an intermediate level player. I'm not a pro player, neither am I a beginner. So for me, it's very usable, especially during off days when I am tired, I can't produce a smash. The 700 is my go-to racket. It's the most forgiving, it has the largest sweet spot, and it's the most easy to maneuver. So for me, when I'm feeling slow, when I'm lacking power, that's my go-to racket. The interesting thing though is that there are no current players on the pro circuit using the 700 Pro.
Ah, really?
Yeah, there were a few for the 700 first generation, but not the second generation. And I'm curious why.
But among my students and my peers, there's a number of them that are using this racket. So I guess it could be the forgiving factor that makes it a bit more popular. But I think this is where we transit into the next racket, right? Because the next racket that I'm putting in the top 3 list is the Nanoflare 800, and this is the first gen, right? And it feels stiffer, you feel more precise and in control, and when you smash, you can feel like the power is going through to the shutter.
So this actually is a racket that is not the newest. I think it is about at least 4 or 5 years because the last time I used this racket, it was probably in 2021. Why did this make your top 3 rackets, Joel?
I like the explosiveness and the reactive feeling, right, when the racket makes contact with the shutter. You can really feel it, see? But it's not to the extent that you feel it's shaky, but then it gives that exciting and reactive feeling, right? And with its stiff shaft and headlight, it's still very quick in the front court, so it's quite exciting to play with this racket.
And I remember there are some pro players that have been spotted using this racket. I think some mentions include the very popular Chiharu Shida. She used to use the 800. Malaysian doubles player So Woo Yik also used to use the Nanoflare 800 Pro. I think he uses a different racket now. One thing that I noticed about this is that the Nanoflare lineup, I thought, was more beginner, intermediate friendly. But this is an extremely hard racket to use. It has a compact frame. The head's a bit smaller, sweet spot is also smaller, and it's a much stiffer racket than the Nanoflare 700. And it took me a long time to get used to it. Until today, I'm not quite confident that I'm able to use this racket successfully.
But here's the thing about rackets with the smaller sweet spot. Typically, when you do hit the sweet spot, you feel the power more than those with a larger sweet spot, right? So while it's the smaller, maybe it's more concentrated, then the power is also more concentrated. Shall we review what is the best Head Light racket?
I think it's no surprise there.
Yeah, man. So this is the Nanoflare 1000, right? And I've been using this for a while. Here's the interesting thing, I have already broke one Nanoflare 1000, and I didn't even, hit the floor or hit another person's racket. I actually smashed and the shutter hit the strings and the racket broke. And just for the record, my tension is usually just 25 pounds. Cutting away all the negative side, this is really a unique racket. Why is it unique? Is because typically it's inversely related, right? When you have a Head Light racket with a faster swing speed, you usually don't feel so powerful. But this has the best of both worlds, right? Where you still can feel the power even though it has a very quick swing speed. So this almost covers every ground, right? Like you can do your defense, you can do your counter attack, but yet when you smash, you can still feel the power.
And actually, that's not the first time that I've heard about this. Actually, I have a lot of friends who broke their rackets and had to send it back to Yonex for a replacement. So call it a QC thing, it could be the integrity of the racket. But sometimes, when you push products to an extreme and try and get, every bit of performance out of it, then that's what happens. It becomes a bit unstable. But there's no doubt about this, there's no other brand out there besides Yonex that has created a Head Light racket that is so aggressive. On the pro circuit, you have very strong players like Lakshya Sen, who's using this racket. You have Carolina Marin, who's using this racket, and even Pearly Tan, Malaysia's female doubles player, broke the world record for fastest women's smash speed. And even for the men's swing speed, which was the player that...
I think it was Shetty, but it was the Indian pair, and both of them were advertising or promoting this racket.
So it's really very paradoxical almost, that a Head Light racket, it's not known for powerful smashes, yet can produce the world's fastest smash. It really tells you a lot about what this racket can do. But again, I think it goes back to my fear as an intermediate player, right? I'm a club player. It's not the easiest racket to use. It is super, super stiff. It also has a smaller, compact frame, much like the 800, the Nanoflare 800. I remember my first time when I used this racket, I was missing maybe 5 out of 10 shots because the swing speed is so insanely fast that you have to almost adjust your own swing speed and timing just so that the racket can make contact with the shuttle. Is that something that's common for you as a higher level player?
I mean, I'm a... No, okay, but honestly, like jokes aside, it took me a while, so I was hitting the frame more often than not. I don't think it was because of the size of the frame, but it was more because of the weight distribution. It's really a lot lighter. In terms of the distribution, it's very, very head light, so I think it affected the swing speed, and I couldn't catch the sweet spot as quickly or as commonly as I did with other rackets.
So this, you would say, is your top 1 Head Light racket?
Oh, definitely top 1. Yeah, it's almost my favorite overall racket. But it's just very subjective, very personal, right? Because I just can't produce as powerful a smash as my Head Heavy Rackets. Otherwise, this would be on top of my list.
Now, if this video has been helpful for you, please remember to click like, subscribe, and turn on your notification button so you will never miss a beat. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye! Wow, we timed it together.